traffic to clear. So much traffic. Okay, today is November 10th, 2009, 8 a.m. Yesterday on the 9th, my foundation walls were poured. And we had exceptionally beautiful weather. It was 70 degrees Celsius, which is unusually warm for Montreal at this time of year. 17 Celsius, that's probably 60 something Fahrenheit. So we'll take a closer look. Because of these traffic management problems, the concrete trucks had to go up onto my driveway. Alright, so what you can see is the top of the concrete wall. I'll have about 3 feet of concrete above ground level. And because I intend to put brick one day, I'll show you the alignment of the concrete wall with the house. You see, the house will sit on the inner edge of the concrete near where you see these anchor bolts. That's because I intend to put brick one day, and the brick will sit on the outer ledge portion. Sorry. These openings are the windows. The windows are left open on top. The top portion will have to be poured later because the lifting beams are going to be lowered and they need openings. So you see here there's no window, but an opening was left to lower the beam. Here's an opening that was left to lower this beam. I'm glad to see they corrected the footings for the columns. You can see where they mistakenly placed them originally. I said they could leave the old concrete, doesn't matter. So these blockages here is where the beams are going to rest. So here the foundation's a bit lower. This is the staircase for going down to the basement. Another window right here. This window is lined up with this window, which is a rather bizarre window for, you'd expect this kind of window for a basement. One day I'm going to enlarge it so that it's the same size as this window. Did the same thing here, which is bizarre, but at least this room has a very large window in front. Anyway, you see through the branches. Can't see it well. But this window is aligned with this one. It's not quite as wide. Alright. These are the insulating sheets. The night, according to the weather forecast, the night from Wednesday to Thursday will drop to -4 in Celsius, which is plus something in Fahrenheit, I don't know what. But I'm going to ask that the contractor covers up the foundation to keep it warm. Because when concrete hardens, it's because of a chemical reaction between the cement and the water. And as the temperature drops, this reaction slows down. So you just have to cover it with insulated sheets to make sure the reaction takes place at a normal rate. So you can see the cement, because of our traffic problems, the cement trucks had to back up all the way to here. Did some minor damage to my neighbor's retaining wall, but luckily this is just a simple cinder block wall. It can be taken down and relaid very easily. The lower runs haven't really bulged much. If you look at the line that it makes as the concrete, but basically just have to relay the upper 2 to 5 rows of blocks. The driveway's finished. I was going to scrap the back of it. My intention is to put a flower bed around the house, so, you know, this will eventually be plants and flowers. Back here, I'm going to make a big brick patio that goes around the back and this side of the house. I was hoping to keep the front part of the asphalt, but looks like that's finished. What my contractor suggested, see, the problem is my backyard doesn't drain to anywhere. It's partly because the driveway's too high. It makes a kind of a hump right here. And he suggested excavating the whole thing to lower the ground level, so that the driveway, so at least my land can drain towards the driveway, towards the street. Several years ago, I put in this little outlet pipe that runs along the driveway to drain my backyard. It is helpful, especially during the spring with spring melt, and very rarely in the summer if you have very intense rainfalls. But the pipe's probably being crushed. So the next step, in a few days, they'll remove the formwork. If all goes well, in a week or maybe a bit more than a week, the house will be lowered back onto the foundation. But before then, they have to replace the beams and columns. So basically, these beams need to be cut out. I found out that these smaller beams are called joists in English. The French word is salive. I didn't know the English word, which is joist. That's the fun of being an Anglophone in Quebec. English is your mother tongue, but there's especially if you work in French, you know the French technical terms for things, but not the English. The joke is when people ask you to translate technical stuff from French to English, they expect you to know all the English technical terms, which is not always the case. Anyway. There's enough babbling. Stop.